Have you ever been scrolling through home listings and just thought to yourself, how on earth does anyone actually afford this? Well, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to try and piece together the housing affordability puzzle, figure out why prices are just so high, and what, if anything, can be done about it. So let's start with a number, 4 to 7 million. What do you think that is? It's not a price tag and it's not a population count. Nope, that's the estimated number of homes that America is currently missing. And that one number, it's really the key to this whole puzzle we're tackling today. Okay, so the problem is pretty straightforward, right? For a whole lot of people, housing has become incredibly, deeply unaffordable. And it's gotten so serious that the government is now looking at some pretty big ideas to try and step it. And let's just make this personal for a second. Picture yourself as a first-time homebuyer. You've done everything right, you saved your money, you've got a decent job, but every single time you look at the market, the goalposts have moved again. Prices just keep climbing out of reach. This isn't just some abstract economic headline. It is the reality for millions of people right now. So what's the plan? Well, the Trump administration has floated a few ideas aimed squarely at helping out those very buyers. Let's dig into what's actually on the table. Now, all of these proposals have one thing in common. They're all about making it easier for people to buy. Things like stopping big corporations from snapping up single-family homes, or making it easier to tap into your retirement savings for a down payment. The bottom line is they're designed to boost your purchasing power as a buyer. They focus on the demand side of the housing equation. And that's the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, on the surface, helping people buy homes sounds fantastic. Who could argue with that? But what do the actual housing experts think about all this? Well, there you have it. That's from Glenn Kelman, the CEO of the real estate company Redfin. And his take? He calls these ideas mostly Band-Aids. Wow, that's a pretty powerful statement, and it really suggests that maybe we're not treating the actual injury here. So why call it a Band-Aid? What are these policies missing? Well, according to a lot of economists, these ideas are basically just patching up a symptom of the problem, not getting to the root cause. So let's talk about what these demand-side policies really are. Think about it like this. It's like giving a bunch more people tickets to a concert, but you don't add a single seat to the arena. See the problem? These policies help more buyers get in the game, but they do absolutely nothing to increase the number of homes that are actually for sale. And this quote from Ed Pinto really nails the potential danger here. Think about it. If you give more buyers more money to compete for the exact same limited number of houses, what's going to happen? You get bidding wars. Prices don't go down, they shoot up even higher. You could actually accidentally make the whole affordability crisis even worse. And that brings us right back to where we started, to that big number. This is what economists keep pointing to as the real problem. It's not a lack of people who want to buy homes. It's a massive, nationwide shortage of homes to buy. And this timeline really drives the point home. Yeah, we've seen a tiny bit of improvement recently. Inventory has ticked up a little, but just look at where we are now compared to before the pandemic. We are still in a huge hole when it comes to the number of homes on the market. So here's the fundamental disconnect. All the proposals we've talked about are laser-focused on that left column, boosting demand. But the experts, they keep pointing over to the right column, saying, hey, the real issue, the thing we have to solve, is all about boosting supply. So if the answer is just build more houses, it kind of seems like a good idea to ask the people who, actually build the houses what they need to make that happen. And it looks like the conversation might finally be starting to shift. The Commerce Secretary has apparently started reaching out to builders and asking them that exact question. What would it take? What incentives do you need to actually build more homes? And you better believe the builders have an answer. The National Association of Home Builders has a whole plan ready to go, and it is all about supply. They're talking about cutting red tape and regulations, getting more people into skilled trades, fixing the supply chains for materials, and making it easier to get loans to start new construction projects. Notice what's not on that list? Anything about helping buyers. It's all about building. But there is one last really tricky problem that sits at the very heart of this whole debate. It's a kind of political and economic paradox that makes finding a real solution incredibly difficult. And this lays it out perfectly. President Trump has said he wants both of these things to be true at the same time. On one hand, he wants to make homes more affordable for people trying to get into the market, but on the other hand, he wants to make sure the 65% of Americans who already own a home see their biggest asset, their house, keep going up in value. But as this quote from Joel Berner at Realtor.com puts it so bluntly, it's probably impossible. It's just basic economics. For prices to come down for new buyers, the value has to come down for current owners. You can't really have it both ways. It's basically a zero-sum game. And so that's the ultimate question we're left with. At the end of the day, what do we want our homes to be? Do we want them to be an affordable, essential thing for everyone, or a high-growth investment for people who already own one? Because the answer to that question is what will shape the future of the American housing market for all of us.